Hello everyone, Alzion the Great here, and welcome back to the Texas Rangers franchise on MLB The Show 22, one day after the announcement for Jazz Chisholm to be the cover of MLB The Show 23. And I will talk about that a little bit in this episode, but for now, we're going to be getting back into this. Now, I do want to say this is a different save file, because obviously this is on the PS5 now, as my other file was on the PS4. So here you're going to see me going through the entire roster and just kind of setting things to what I want once again. And we do get back to where we were at the end of the first, or not first episode for sure, but at the end of the first month, which is where we were last time we ended off. As just wanted to bring this series back because I just felt like it's a little bit better than a Madden series, and I'm a lot more comfortable with the show than I am with Madden franchises, especially the newer Maddens. So I wanted to bring back the show and just go ahead and do that. But as far as MLB The Show 23 coming out, I do plan to get MLB The Show 23 as well as start a series, but this series will not be going anywhere if it's still, which it should be, still running by the time I get MLB The Show 23. But there is going to be a few differences as far as who is where. You already saw me put Jack Leiter in AA. I think he was in AAA. In the other save file on the PS4, I think you already saw me move Josh Young. He's in AA as well. Just wanted to get them more opportunities. But I tried to remember what I did exactly with everybody. I think I mostly got it, and regardless of whether I got it or not, I think it's important that, we just have a series. I think it's just that players are there. And as you just see me adjusting the roster, I'm not entirely sure how, long a series should run. Obviously, I already said the MLB 23 stuff, but I would like to win a World Series with the Rangers and hopefully, defend that World Series, but we got to focus on this season to start. Also, a big thing is I don't have any scouting, and I have to go through the entirety of the scouting thing again, as now we set the lineups here. As I'm going to go ahead and skip through some of this, because a lot of it is not really that interesting, I don't really think, to watch, and don't necessarily need everyone to see it, because we'll be going through a game today, and we'll be reviewing all the stats and stuff of the players. So, franchise is back, as we now get into the season, just trying to get back to where we were before we started. Obviously need to do new scout. I've actually got a new scouting thing, which is actually kind of weird, because I had a new scouting thing, a new scouting routine, I guess it would be, for just in general, and then I actually looked at some tips for scouting, and now I have another whole new scouting routine, which I can't really take advantage of too much, because we are, I guess, by the end of this episode will be about a month and maybe I want to say a quarter. It's more like a month and a week or so into the season. But so just like in the last franchise, I won't be showing you much scouting besides me doing this, because I scout in a very different way than most people, I would imagine, especially when I was recording this. So I don't really look at the prospects at all. It's more of, I know what I can get with scouting and without scouting. And so I just try to maximize my first round draft pick. But as we sim through here, just scouting and simming through to the part of the season we were at, as there should be quite a bit. I don't even know what I'm saying. I need to speed this up again. So yeah, that was basically the first thing. As far as I'm aware, there weren't any injuries, at least major ones, in the first month, I guess, besides the one that I just moved up somebody to do there. But there weren't any major league injuries or anything significant as far as who we have to know now. As we got to 27th, and I thought that's where I actually stopped, but we ended up going through the rest of the month and doing that. As we look at the stats here, obviously we have different stats because it's different games. Semyon not doing good. Nathaniel Lau actually doing great. Mitch Garver hitting pretty well. Leody Taveras is hitting over 300, which is really good to see. And nobody is doing good pitching. Nobody at all, besides one person, which you see has the fire. We'll talk about him later because we're going to head into a game with him. But yeah, overall, the team was not doing good. Jack Leader was doing okay. Nick Tropiano, who was in the majors in the other game, he's doing fine. Cole Winn is not having a grand time of it. Joe Barlow also isn't having a good time. Mitch Garver, luckily, is hitting pretty good. Semyon only hitting 200 is not what I want. Josh Young is actually hitting pretty decent. Corey Seager isn't hitting nearly as good as he was in the other series, but he's still hitting pretty darn solidly. I don't think Cole Calhoun will give us a couple home runs, but this is how it ended out, as we ended up at the start of May, and luckily we had the exact same schedule. I did notice that, so we had the exact same schedule. We just played some different teams, or not played different teams. We had different results for the teams. As the first game of May, we lose to the Atlanta Braves, 11-3. As we had a couple home runs, but couldn't beat Huascar Yanoa, and Taylor Hearn only lasted 4 innings. This team just has not been doing nearly as well pitching-wise as we have, or when we started the other series, I should say. As we get a little bit of a scouting throw there, but I wanted to get to this game because I wanted to talk, or I wanted to get this game against the Phillies because I wanted to talk about Martin Perez having an absolute amazing start to the season. A .92 ERA, much better than he was doing to start last year. Now, he's 30 years old with deep potential, and he's only 67 overall. I doubt he'll be with us beyond this year, just simply because I don't really view that as a good re-signing, and I don't think this performance will last. But hey, it's good to spotlight players while they're having good performances, as we're going to take on Kyle Gibson and the Philadelphia Phillies here at home. Actually, we're not at home, we're in Philadelphia, as we also get to meet Bryce Harper. And it's always fun playing against Bryce, with his playing ability and all that. Is Kyle Gibson having a decent start to the year. 3.55 ERA is a bit high. WHIP is 1.22. But other than that, he's doing great, or he's doing decently, as Nathaniel Lau is our leadoff hitter, hitting .352 to start the season. I believe that's better than what he had last time, as the first pitch of the game is a flyout to left field, as the lineup for today was slightly different than what it would be. Leody Taveras actually wasn't in the starting lineup, but he is now, as his team already has 41 home runs. I don't really know what that thing was saying at the bottom, but yeah, we get a hit here from Nick Solak. Definitely high expectations for him, as we have Corey Seager now hitting .283 with 8 home runs. It's number 1 on the team, as Remember, he got the big contract. I didn't hand it out to him. He strikes out on a slider. As I said in the first few episodes of this series, Seager is going to be an interesting guy to watch because generally, you know, you get the player gives out big contracts, not the teams in real life. So we have to deal with that. And that's the first year of his contract as this pitch is hit and a sky ball for the final out of the inning. They're caught by Odubel Herrera. And now we get Martin Perez, 1.16 whip, 0.92 ERA, having an amazing start to the season. See if he can continue it against the Phillies. As to see if he can match Kyle Gibson's 10 strikes to 1 ball, as you see in the left corner there. Gene Segura leads off, and he swings at a very inside pitch, which gets caught by Corey Seager for out number 1. As the Phillies lineup actually has not been really going super hot. Besides Segura, Bohm, and Harper, and maybe Odubel Herrera, no one's really hitting super well for the Phillies. As here's Bohm here, gets 3-0 count with Bryce Harper on deck. As you don't really want to put a base runner on for him, but Bohm swings through a pitch right down the middle on 3-1. A little bit of trouble there, but would not hurt us as it would be, as Bohm would reach anyway. Then in comes Bryce Harper. He's one of the superstars of the sport. Swings and misses. Bohm took off on the pitch, and he is thrown out. And that is a good play from Mitch Garver, as he had a sub 2-second pop time. You just can't do it any better with the perfect throw. If he wants to be the catcher of the future, he needs to make more defensive plays like that, and he needs to hit good. Mainly hit good, but having good defense does not hurt at all. As Bryce Harper swings the ball right down the middle, but just a lazy fly out to Adolis Garcia in right, as that would end that inning. Now Marcus Semien hitting sub 200 to start the season, not good. Also swings and misses on the sinker ball that was chest high, as he strikes out there. Next up would be Brad Miller, as Kyle Gibson cruising through these innings as he chops a ball to first base, and Bohm just takes it, or not Bohm, Hoskins takes it himself. Sorry, I'm trying to acquaint myself with the teams again. But Leody Taveras is hitting 346 to start the season, and that is absolutely amazing. Leody, obviously, he could be the center fielder of the future for Texas, and the only reason that I don't think he would be is because he does not hit well. But in this situation, he's actually hitting really well to start the season, and it's really promising to see, as now he strikes out on 3-2. So Kyle Gibson having one heck of a start to the day, and this brings up Rhys Hoskins, only hitting 219 to start, but he's a big power bat on 1-2. Gets a cutter high that he lays off. Martin Perez trying to finish off Rhys Hoskins in this at-bat. He throws a pitch, and Hoskins tattoos a ball. Absolutely demolishes it to left field. And that is a no-doubt home run, as the bell tolls and the Phillies are on the board in the second inning. Only 408 feet. I thought that was at least 425, the way he absolutely crushed that ball off the bat. But Hoskins, definitely a problem, as we go later in the inning, gets 2 outs. Didi Gregorius fouls off a 2-strike pitch. Then on 1-2 again, swings at a pitch very close to the inside, and the play is made. However, it is a base hit as the throw from Semien pulled low off the bag. That brings up former Oriole prospect Matt Vierling. I was actually surprised to see him on the Phillies. I did not know he was there, as he takes a ball there as Martin Perez's 26th pitch this inning. Obviously, kind of a bad inning here for Perez, as he falls behind now 2-0, but he brings it back to 2-2 as the pitch is crushed deep into the gap, and nobody will be able to catch that. That will be down for a base hit, as Didi Gregorius will score, and it's a double by Vierling that puts the Phillies up 2-0 early in this game. as I never really viewed Veerling as a big prospect for the Orioles, but he's making his mark felt today as Adolis Garcia, in his first at-bat, coming back 3-1, does ground out to third there. As now we get to 3-2 with Nathaniel Lau. Didn't want to show Martin Perez grounding out, as Lau swings at a pitch well below the zone, but manages to hit it into left field, so maybe the Rangers can do some damage with 2 outs here, as this brings up Nick Solak. He obviously had a base hit earlier today. He does swing and turn on a good pitch, but just a little bit underneath it, and that will be the end of the 3rd inning for the Rangers, as we went into a quick sim from there, as we pitch around Bryce Harper, but nothing comes of it from Martin Perez. Seager gets a single, Garver flies out, just trying to get any sort of support against runs for Martin Perez, as he gets through the 4th inning, I should say, as Kyle Gibson. I considered pinch hitting Martin Perez, but I figured, hey, I'm going to let him go in the next inning until he's up a hit or something. He does give up a single to Gene Segura, and this means I wanted to go to the bullpen, because I wanted to see how Martin Perez, how far he could go this game, as he put in Spencer Patton, and then Bohm walks, and this brings up Bryce Harper with 1 out and 2 runners on, as Bryce Harper 0 for 1, he walked in the 3rd. Spencer Patton's 6th pitch, and the first one to Harper is a line drive deep center, but Leote was already back there, and his arm is well renowned, so he does not, so Segura does not advance. But that also brings up Rhys Hoskins for his 2nd at bat. He already has 1 home run today with 2 outs, as the Philly Fanatic trying to pump up the crowd for Rhys here, trying to get his Phillies another run. Patton trying to prevent it on 3-1. He does walk Hoskins, and right here I just wanted to make sure that it didn't take out Spencer Patton. I wanted Spencer Patton to finish this. I wanted to see what he could do, and Odubel Herrera is in. Now, I didn't want the AI to take him out, so I had to pitch, and I struggled with the first 2 pitches. They were balls, and I didn't want to walk him, so I did manage to pitch effectively as we get to the 3rd and final out, and really pumped up about that, as Kyle Gibson's still in the 6th. Nick Solak gets a single. Garver hits a single and gets Solak to 3rd on the hit and run, but we cannot bring Solak home, as we keep Spencer Patton in, as he walks Romuto, and we consider swapping to Garrett Richards. He's kind of the only guy who we had that was really rested, as we walked Matt Veerling after Guerrero popped up. Gibson grounded out. I assumed it was a bunt. Walked Segura, and then Bohm with a single. Harper with the double clears the bases. That makes it 6-0. And then Gibson doesn't do anything. We keep in Richards for another inning. He gets to it. Forgot to pinch hit him there, but we just went through the rest of the game there, or from here on out, as Richards ended up getting out of the predicament. But Gibson goes 9 innings as the Phillies beat the Rangers 6-0. Complete game shutout for the Phillies there, as Gibson does good. Then we get some bad news. Yanni Hernandez breaks his ankle in AAA. He's actually a person that I was having some high hopes for. Maybe he can help out with the team soon, but he will be down. The only good news that came out of it was Josh Young was hitting 280, so I decided to call him up. So he's in AAA, one of our top prospects. I doubt he'll see the majors this season. It's more like next year. But that would be all for this first episode. Coming back, as we'll try and get probably to the end of LA game. Maybe go see Houston next episode. But that will be all. Thank you for watching.